Hello students, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to give you 10 latest defense updates. Number 1, Ukraine's plan to attack Russian nuclear installations, a global security concern. Ukrainian authorities have begun preparations for an attack on the Kursk NPP. If these reports are accurate, the consequence could be severe considering the immense risk associated with any damage to nuclear facility. The Kursk NPP, like any nuclear power plant, is built with extensive safety measures. However, in the context of military conflict, even the most robust security systems can be overwhelmed, leading to potentially disastrous outcomes. Next, Russia introduces state of emergency over fire caused by Kyiv drone. Authorities in the southern Russian city of Proltarsk introduced a state of emergency Monday as firefighters battled for more than 24 hours to extinguish a blaze at an oil facility hit by a Ukrainian drone. Russians said Kyiv struck the fuel storage warehouse located in the city of 20,000 people in the southern Rostov region on Sunday morning, and that the blaze was raging for a second day. Next, Malaysia eyes BrahMos ALCM. The Royal Malaysian Air Force has expressed keen interest in acquiring India's BrahMos air-launched cruise missile to bolster its Sukhoi 30 MKM fighter fleet. The Mach 3 capable missile with a range of 290 kilometers will come as a significant upgrade for the RMAF's naval strike capabilities. However, integrating the BrahMos ALCM into the Sukhoi 30 MKM platform is not a straightforward process. Next, Mi-26 helicopters set for takeoff in India. The Indian Air Force is set to breathe new life into its fleet of Mi-26 heavy lift helicopters after years of grounding. The once mighty workhorses, essential for airlifting troops and equipment, are undergoing a comprehensive overhaul at the number 3 base repair depot in Chandigarh with crucial assistance from Russian engineers. Next, developing integrated combat suite for future submarines. The Defense Research and Development Organization is actively engaged in developing an integrated combat suite for India's upcoming submarine programs. The revelation was made by DRDO Chairman Dr. Sameer V. Kamath in a recent interview. The integrated combat suite represents a critical advancement in submarine technology, offering enhancement capabilities in underwater warfare, surveillance, communication, etc. Next, Rajnath Singh visit to Washington to focus on MQ-9 and F-414 deal. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh is set to visit Washington later this month, a visit that could mark significant advancement in India's defense capabilities. Singh is expected to finalize crucial technology collaboration and co-production deals during his trip, including the acquisition of armed MQ-9B drones and the co-production of 414 jet engines. Next, converting existing reactors into small units. India is gearing up to introduce smaller nuclear reactors into the energy market by modifying its existing 220 MW pressurized heavy water reactors. The strategic move aims to pave the way to private sector participation in the nuclear power industry. Next, ISRO Skyroot Agnikul I share in small satellite launch market. ISRO's latest satellite launch vehicle SSLV is the first rocket in its category to be ready for commercialization, with two others, Vikram from Skyroot and Agniban from Agnikul Cosmos, expected to vie for market share to place small satellites in orbit. Next. External Affairs Minister Jaishankar arrives in Kuwait. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar arrived in Kuwait on Sunday, where he was warmly welcomed by Kuwaiti Foreign Minister Abdullah Ali Yahya. Expressing his gratitude for the warm reception, Jaishankar said he is looking forward to his scheduled meetings with the Kuwaiti leadership. Next. In Voice of Global South Summit, 123 countries joined. China and Pakistan were not among the invitees to the third Voice of Global South Summit hosted by India on Saturday on the virtual format that was joined by 123 nations across the globe. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar confirmed this at a media briefing after conclusion of the summit that focused on unitedly dealing with challenges facing the global south or the developing countries. He told 123 countries participated in the summit. Thank you.